All right, guys. As you can see, I've switched to the headset mic for a reason. Remember I said we're going to talk about E3? I reckon we do that right about now. What do you reckon? So obviously E3 is the biggest extravaganza that the video games does. It's as simple as that. It's our Oscars. As the LA cab drivers called it, it's our Oscars. It's gaming's Oscars. And it really is. For the pomp and ceremony and the carry-on, it's just too huge. So I can talk about it, and we can cover off certain points, but I reckon I'm probably going to get some help on this one. So I might ask Kirsty from New Game Plus and Ryan from Wonderworld Games to come out and join me on stage. Please give them a round of applause. Now, obviously, Kirsty is my co-host on New Game Plus. Say hello to the nice people.
Hello.
And Ryan on the end works for Wonderworld Games, which is a company I also work for when I'm not doing New Game Plus. Hello, Ryan.
Hi, Jason.
I guess we'll get started with E3. I mean, E3 2012. This is just one side of the South Hall. This is how, the first thing that you notice is just how big the halls are.
Yeah, the LA Convention Center is split into two halls, and the two halls are literally a 5-minute walk apart each other. They have to cross an 8-lane road to get between them. So the size is just huge. Like every corner of the LA Convention Center was converted into a games kind of extravaganza. It was mad.
At the front, they had the free NOS, which Josh, another guy who came with us, just absolutely exploited to the death.
The thing about the middle part is they actually had like ice cream and water in case you got like a bit thirsty, making that like long trek to the next hall.
Yeah, it is like, you know, you go to, say, Melbourne Exhibition Centre, right? Has anyone been to Jeff's Shed there to go like Supernova or something like that? Yeah? That doesn't even come close to how big the LA Convention Center is. It is at least double.
I think the length of Jeff's Shed is the distance between one convention hall to the other in LA.
That is how long it is. That is just how monstrous the building itself is. So the biggest issue then is the fact that you don't get to see everything that you want to see. So what have we got coming up next?
The first one is the Xbox media briefing. Now, E3 is meant to run from the 5th to the 7th of June.
Just 3 days.
Just 3 days. But because there's so much to do, they actually start early. So the Xbox media briefing was 9 a.m. Monday morning, and E3 didn't open until midday Tuesday afternoon.
Did anyone stay up and watch it that night? What was your favourite part? What was that? Halo 4?
Yeah.
He can't hide. He asks you a question, then he hides to answer it. Yes, there you go. What about you, Hagen? Yeah? Well, Xbox, it's like glass in the surface.
Smart glass.
Yes,
yeah, the smart glass was my favourite. Yeah, this is an example of the crowd. Like, it was in this huge convention centre, actually like about 20 minutes away from the LA Convention Centre, and they had hundreds of people lining up before 9 a.m. just to get in. And we were just media. We all got these really cool little... you didn't get one. I got a cool hologram badge to show that I went to the Xbox press conference. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you. More crowd shots. Oh yeah, there's some guy from Xbox.
Some guy. Not going to take a shot at who it is?
I can't remember
his name. It's our boy Don. Come on.
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Yeah. I don't know, but that wasn't the most interesting thing. But the other great... Whoop. There it goes. The other great thing about...
I'm going to hold on to that from now on.
Yeah, you do that. The other great thing about these press conferences was the crazy multimedia extravaganzas they actually put on. So you can see it says Xbox all along the sides. Everything just kind of explodes with colour. It was just a mad experience. I'd arrived in the country 2 hours before this started, and it just woke me up.
And we both missed it because we got off the plane. And
you got off the plane a little too late.
I was only on an exhibitor pass anyway, so I couldn't go.
Oh yeah. You only had a pleb pass, so that was NHL. Who's excited about NHL? Andrew Johns, and that's it. No one else. No one else cares. And there's smart glass.
I love that it comes to iPad. That's the one thing I didn't expect.
The two men I wanted to meet and didn't get a chance to, we're actually talking to someone afterwards, and they were the only people who refused to have scripts up when they presented. Like, everyone else had the teleprompter. For them, it was just nothing, because that's how they
And it was
roll.
the most entertaining because of it.
So... there's Usher. Skip over that.
Yep.
Again, so that's another photo of the South Hall, just to give you an idea of the size, you know.
And that's where our Rush Hour, the end of Rush Hour 1 was set in there.
That's one of the roads going in. That's how big the roads are in LA.
And
everyone
look, they're on the
drives and they're all crazy. The big Elder Scrolls like billboards on the side.
So
Elder Scrolls Online. Who's excited about that? Yeah. Really? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's been done before, but we'll see. I could be wrong. Now that's Charles Martinet. Does anyone know who Charles Martinet is?
He's the voice of Mario, and he's the only voice of Mario. He's been the voice of Mario since the start.
We met him in our hotel lobby, and He'd had a little bit too much happy juice.
Too much.
He staggered out of there. But before he went, he did one thing for us, and I'll hold Kirsty's mic up and play that now. If you wouldn't mind,
Hey. Hello to all of my friends at You Games Plus. It's me, Mario. Wahoo! It's my favorite. You Games Plus. Woohoo!
So yeah, that's what you can get drunk Mario to do. When,
He was also recording voicemails. So many people were coming up to him in this bar.
He did a voicemail for some guy's kid at home. Like he literally called up the home phone and said, "Oh, I hear you liking my games, yahoo!" And like did the whole 30-second spiel. I mean, imagine that. Imagine waking up the next morning and just like.
No, but the thing was
yeah.
because he was having a really good time. As he got more excited, he kept slipping into Mario.
Yeah.
So even just in conversation, that kind of voice would just appear, and it was just surreal.
Interesting things.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He's not cool
These
enough.
guys stayed in Long Beach. We'll discuss Long Beach later.
Yeah, that was in Crank too.
It's like Ravenholm. No one goes to Long Beach. It was also funny. And the funny thing is, all the Elder Scrolls nerds, the second you say, "Oh, we met Charles Martinet, he did the voice of Mario," they go, "Did you get him to do Parthenax?" Oh, I didn't realize he did Parthenax. They all know who Parthenax is, right? Yeah. Like 6 people. Fantastic.
Yeah, doing well.
So there's the Nintendo press conference next.
morning.
This was just like Nintendo's come to represent for me. Funny story with Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh, this is the best story.
I was walking into one of the halls, and so I go to walk in, and I'm like, "There's a hold up. What's going on here?" And there's like a security guard, standing there. 3 American dudes and 3 Japanese dudes. Blah, blah, blah. Shigeru Miyamoto forgot his name badge. So they're they're keeping Shigeru Miyamoto out of E3, who I guess effectively built E3 for Nintendo. And so 5 minutes of this security guard saying, "I'm not letting you in." Poor Shiggy going, "The hell is going on here?" And then eventually his American handler realized that he had it around his neck the whole time. Like he had 4 passes and one of them happened to be Shiggy. So it just goes to show you that even Shigeru Miyamoto gets kicked out by dumb security guards. So
Arguably the most recognizable face.
good photo. I'm glad
it?
you do stuff.
You're wrong.
There's another photo of the man himself. Woo! Yeah, one of the few things for Nintendo I'll actually cheer.
Yeah.
Now, Nintendo Land. Who wants to go to an amusement park in your Wii U?
Yeah. No, seriously, when they announced this, I was like, hang on, are they actually announcing like Nintendo Land, the amusement park? Like Sega World?
Okay, show of hands. If they said we're going to open like an amusement park, like a theme park, and it's going to be Nintendo based, could they take your money fast enough? I don't know.
Take my money.
Yeah, just take my money. Shut up and take my money. I mean, do you agree? Like, you're not really a Nintendo kid, though, are you?
I was earlier during the SNES days, but not much anymore.
But there's just so many franchises that they could go with. Like, just even Yoshi sitting there in the middle. You could have merry-go-round with Yoshis. You could have roller coasters. Like Rainbow Road, the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Rainbow Road, the roller coaster. Oh, man.
Which is just a roller coaster painted in rainbow colors.
No, no, but it would just you couldn't handle that much sensory overload.
But yes, of course, it was just like, let's play carnival games on your Wii.
Woo.
Yeah, this guy's right, just cough. That was everything. They announced it, and all you could hear was one dude coughing in the front. And then Alan Moore, you did it again. I told you. Peter Moore, the head of EA in America, he's the CEO. I said it twice. I know it doesn't mean much to you, but he was responsible for the launch of the Dreamcast in America, the launch of Xbox in America. If anyone remembers one of the early E3 conferences for Xbox 360 where he had the tattoos of Xbox on one side and GTA 4 on the other. These are the kind of people you just randomly bump into walking down the street. Shut up.
This is actually outside the Nintendo press conference
outside
too.
the Nintendo press conference. Randomly walking along in the street, you just bump into these kind of people, like Danny Bilson from THQ, like the creative head responsible for like Saints Row, Darksiders. He was driving forward.
Tim Schafer got on the bus.
I think Tim Schafer's one of the next slides. There's Assassin's Creed. You can't help yourself.
That's the length of the concourse hall between the halls.
Yeah.
just the concourse hall that's not on the freeway.
That's not on the freeway. Yeah. So that's the part that doesn't include the freeway overpass.
If I had a ladder, that would probably be in Australia right now, but it was just too high.
Tucked into one suitcase, yeah.
I think it might be. I took a lot of photos.
You did. A lot of Assassin's Creed
Assassin's Creed is I love it. So.
Do you remember Worms?
Yeah. Now, this was great fun, actually. I actually got to play this, and it played so much like the old PS1 versions I used to play when I was younger, which were the best versions. So definitely worth a game checking out.
And the other thing as well is they're actually having trouble finding a publisher. So email Team 17 and show them your support and get them somebody who would publish it out here. This is something we wanted to show you as well. In America, they don't screw around. You guys can see what's on the back there, right? 12-gauge pistol grip pump action shotgun.
And
How
this,
many-
there was no cops next to this.
No.
There was no cops standing around this car and this
And not one
motorbike.
person thought to take it. Like that's.
Well, you did.
Well, I did. But,
That's the other
But I
photo.
just sort of Duke Nukem, hail to the king, baby. Like, but yeah, that's America summed up. Like,
Yeah,
we
it was
don't
so
screw
big
around.
as well.
Like, don't screw
that's
around.
like the width of an Australian car lane in Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Well, and
huge.
These things are just like the cars. First thing you get out of the airport, the car is literally from the edge of that chair there to probably midway through there. That's like a standard family car. You're like,
Family car.
you used to think it was some kind of like, people made it up. America's got big cars, but no, they got big cars.
Yeah, Yank Tank is
Yank Tank
appropriate.
is a thing. And that was the view from our hotel.
Not yours.
What a horrible, horrible view we had. Yeah. Hilton Checkers, wonderful place to
Yeah.
stay, particularly when you're not paying for it.
Yeah.
This is trying to get in. This is the crush on the Wednesday morning.
Yeah,
and
this
then
is South
some
Hall.
loser in the back there.
Yeah, well, who's that loser number
but
2?
have a look at that crowd. Like this, and keep in mind, this isn't open to consumers, unfortunately. Like it's open to industry, media, or like actual
workers, industry.
presenters themselves. That's how many people still showed up.
At
It is-
10 a.m.,
at
like
10
at
a.m.
opening.
Straight away opening. It's ridiculous. And this was the third wave up the escalators, I think.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So it was just crazy. I mean, did you have any trouble getting in, or?
Nah, because we pretty much came like an hour later every day, so there was never any line.
The
and
crush was gone.
Yeah.
Well, this was a Nintendo booth as well.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you play much at the Nintendo booth? No.
A lot.
That's right, you did. You're driving like daddy.
There was part at the back where they had the Wii U mini games they were playing, and each Wii U mini game you played, you get a little badge. So I went around every one and made sure I got all the badges before the last day.
It's like Pokemon, but not.
Got to
Can't battle
collect
them.
them all. Whatever.
But they had a huge exhibition space. These are like how many
I think
people
theirs
were in
was easily probably one of the biggest because their
Yeah.
media space was as big as their
Yeah, and they
public
also had like a
space.
separate media area.
Yeah, which is you can see over there.
up in the side over there. So
Everyone was in love with Jamie.
yeah, Jamie's the most beautiful man in the cosmos.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
some
so this is
playable
all Wii
games.
U, like Pikmin 3. Who's excited for Pikmin 3? It's about time that they announced it. I mean, seriously. Now, we go to EA now.
yeah.
Sim City. Who's excited for Sim City?
Like seriously, guys, this was the behind the closed door, so it actually wasn't on the floor, and it is amazing. Like it looks so good. The sheer amount of kind of technicality that goes into this, so making sure the power grid works.
Yeah.
So it's not just sending, acts of God onto them anymore. Like you've actually got a lot of micromanaging.
You can still do that.
You can still do that. That's
write
totally
tsunamis off them and stuff
okay.
like that.
But you can actually be environmentally friendly as
Yeah.
well, which is strange.
Did you play any Sim City or
No, I didn't end up going to any of the VIP stuff. I just did the
the normal
floor
stuff?
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
The other one, the Sega All Stars Racing Transform, because the fastest character in gaming history needs a car now, and a boat, and a plane, because he can't just run fast. He's got to go fast. You know? Actually, that was the best thing about America, waking up on a Saturday morning, and they're playing, like all those cartoons that, over here it's so hard to get, like the Sonic cartoon and stuff like that. It's just on, like for 3 hours, 3-hour blocks of, gotta go fast, gotta go fast. And so, yeah. But, and then, Sonic
Giants.
statue.
Now,
Someone
it was a
trying to climb the
rotating
Sonic
one,
statue?
yeah. I'm pretty sure there was a sign somewhere that said, don't climb on it. And if you go to the next slide, people were just always climbing on it. And then reaching for,
Don't do that.
yeah. Yeah.
And so that's just the front door to the
Yeah.
South Hall?
Yeah, no,
Up the
that's
stairs?
West Hall.
That's West Hall,
That's West
yeah.
Hall. But yeah, they had to, they've got little invisible ink written on it, so they actually had a lot of
Yeah,
security
there's
going
like
on.
if you put like a purple
Neon
pen on there,
light.
like it shows up your, that you're actually an
Yeah.
attendee.
That's big.
Now this was the other scary thing. Hockey fans are mental.
Yeah,
he
here you go.
understands. So I don't know. Does anyone here follow the hockey besides Andrew? Right.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 people.
Okay.
The LA Kings were 3-0 in the playoff series. In Australia we have AFL. You play one grand final and that's it. There's no more. It's just a grand final. In America they do playoff series. LA was 3 up in the series, and the 4th game was played at LA. Can you see how many cops are there? Like they're all milled about the crowd.
Yeah.
Every street corner had 2 cops. They had 3 helicopters circling. They had
They basically the whole area shut down as well.
So LA people to celebrate when they're happy, what do? They rip down the city. So when luckily enough for us, they lost. So we only got like the angry people leaving because they lost. But if we got the happy people looting, burning, rioting because they won, it would have been a much different experience.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem was that the LA Convention Center is part of a cluster of entertainment precincts. So you got, like, say Jason's the LA's convention centre. I'm the Staples Centre, so we're like literally next door. So we had thousands upon thousands of gaming fans
Ryan then?
coming
Is that
out. No,
Revel
Ryan,
or-
if you come closer, you are the Nokia Theatre, right? So literally this is like E3,
This is the
Kings
worst
Finals
example
and
ever.
Video Games Live. So you had thousands of video game nerds crossing this area of hockey fans, and it wasn't ending very well.
No, it was crazy. Yeah. What do you mean the line can't move?
Like,
This
seriously,
guy-
that was about punch
oh,
downs,
Man, It was
yeah.
just about to like break into like.
And that
yeah,
random drunk
fight.
guy that kept
But
joining
yeah,
in our
this
conversation.
is how many.
It's just like doing hand. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
so just examples of like, it was like a festival as well. So
Yeah.
it was actually quite cool if you kind of got sick of being stuck inside with video games all day, because who
that a
hates
jumping
that?
castle?
Say again.
Yeah, they got a jumping castle. They
Yeah.
had
What?
everything.
Always.
I
Yeah,
didn't say
you were
that.
inside.
That's the best way to advertise jumping
Yeah.
castles. See, more crazy hockey fans and more crazy. This is how many people were there. It was just mental.
And that was just in the Staples Center. They were all
And then
over
that guy.
LA.
that
Yeah,
guy
I like that
right?
guy. Perfect photo.
Sums it up. Meeting Tim Schafer and Ron Gilbert was one of the highlights. Who knows who Tim Schafer is? Who knows who Ron Gilbert is?
Yeah, I was going to say, how many people only know of Tim Schafer in the past 2 weeks? Because he's at Game Night. Yeah, there we go. Guilty.
For those who don't know, Tim Schafer made the Secret Monkey Island games.
Grim
Yeah,
Fandango.
which Ron Gilbert also made. So that's why that's the significance of that. What was that? Double yes. He did Full Throttle. He did Manic Mansion. All these great point-and-click games. Then obviously recently he did Psychonauts, which is a good PS2 game you should all check out, as well as Brutal Legend, which was probably not his finest moment in gaming. But Ron Gilbert, he's got a new game called out coming to the game. It was funny. I was actually joking with Ron Gilbert that we should call a bomb scare on Peter Molyneux so he doesn't show up to the airport. And lo and behold, Peter Molyneux didn't show up to Game Masters, so I feel a little bit bad. I think Ron Gilbert took it a bit too far. And meeting Al Lowe, and I got to meet him in my leisure suit.
Yeah.
Does anyone know who Al Lowe is? I know it's a bit before your time.
A bit
Everyone's
before-
heard of
a bit
Leisure
before
Suit
your
Larry?
time. I think I could hear a cheer from Serbia in the back
Yeah,
corner.
Serbia in the back knows who he is. He made Leisure Suit Larry, so I made sure that when I got a photo with him, I was wearing my leisure suit.
You see what he did there?
Don't clap. That's not worth clapping. But
He doesn't
that
deserve
was Video Games Live. It was a massive symphony. We had one recently here. Did anyone go to the
Melbourne Symphony
Melbourne
Orchestra's Video
Symphony
Games
Orchestra's
Unplugged.
thing?
Yeah.
So we went to a version of it in. Oh, not even a version of it.
It is a version of it, but it was more like a rock concert than proper sit-down fur coat kind of orchestra. And I think that kind of, it worked for it as well. They had Star Fox, man. They played
They
a
played
Star
the Star
Fox
Fox
medley.
medley. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, what was
I
your
was
favourite
done.
song they played there?
The Pokemon melody, because they
Oh, that was
brought out
amazing.
like these beach balls that were
Pokeballs.
Pokeballs, and they're like hitting it around. And I actually got to hit one like
You got to hit
very,
one.
very hard for like no reason. Like it just came at me. I'm just like boom.
This kid in front just starts crying because it cracks him in the face. But yeah, that was a great night, and hopefully they do it over here. I know there was talk about it, but yeah. So this is the Xbox booth, which you wouldn't think is the big PlayStation logo in the background. But
It's totally the Xbox
yeah,
booth.
Once they like Ubi, this is the scale of the ads that they put up. Like
It's
this
so
is
hard
just
to
a banner.
even describe the
Yeah.
size. I mean, I think the EA booth was probably easily from, the wall here up into the second partition, or even further.
I'd go further.
Yeah,
I
the
would
size
say
of this hall was the size of one booth at
Yeah.
E3.
That's how.
Like the
that's how
Nintendo
big it is.
booth was two of these, two
Yeah.
of this hall.
Same with Microsoft.
Yeah,
Microsoft was
and
they had the big
PlayStation
caged
2
off
was
area.
double story.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry,
PlayStation
was
had an upstairs
two-story.
area as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was mad. So
Squeenix, who cares about Hitman?
Eh.
Did you like the old ones? You're not gonna like the new one. I didn't, yeah. We'll cut in the games very quick in a sec, but just to give you an idea of the scale, I mean that is how big it is. It's just huge. This was the Pac-Man area,
Yeah.
where they had 4-player versus Pac-Man. So
Yeah.
the idea was that you powered up and then you could eat the other Pac-Man. That was right because you lost, didn't you? Like straight away.
I won one and I lost one. You weren't there for me winning.
Yeah, I know, but so in
Conveniently.
my book you just lost. So yeah. And then that's the
floor.
carpet
I
there.
want the carpet, man. How cool would that be in your
We're
house?
not just taking photos of random, like the lower halves of people.
Nah, I swear. It was just for the carpet.
Yeah. So this is the show
There's
itself.
the
Like
EA booth.
that's the main area of our EA's booth. So like NHL, or really in the corner. It was just such an experience. And
Woo.
Assassin's Creed, here we go.
Assassin's Creed.
And that
Yeah.
dude looking.
Really,
bit of a
he's trying to
pose, yeah.
imitate him, I think.
These are all the buses, Tekken Tag Tournament buses.
Yeah, so you knew which one was the E3 bus because it was
Yeah,
all
because
Tekken
you
Tag
just followed the
Tournament.
Tekken Tag Tournament buses.
Yeah.
And that's American food. That is how monstrous. That was a 1 pound burger with 2 types of cheese. I think bacon on there.
yeah.
Oh, I just felt like death after it. Like, I actually had to. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a small mouth, and that is a monstrous burger. I had to eat it with a knife and fork.
It was only
it
like-
wasn't too bad. It was like
$14.50.
$7, and then we got parmesan fries with it as well.
Yeah.
Parmesan fries were the best thing you'll ever eat. They were great. And
Yeah.
chipotle sauce. Like,
Yes, chipotle sauce.
Yeah.
We loved our chipotle. We didn't need
And,
to change our underwear.
Like, and then we did a bit of the tourist thing. So Santa Monica Pier, there's Ryan in his yellow shirt. What was that? Santa Monica, woo!
Woo.
And,
No, the best part of Santa Monica was
This
the
is the
retro
reason we went
pinball
to Santa
machine.
Monica. Like all these
arcade
old
machines.
school arcade cabinets in the wild, like Miss Pac-Man, Galaga. The centipede, which you didn't get a photo of, actually had the trackball. So like you roll the trackball. That's how old school it was. Versus Super Mario Brothers on arcade, like it was just
that
all these
stick
classic
hardly
games.
worked.
Then yeah, I probably shouldn't have shown that photo. Let's skip past that one. Then Universal Studios, and that's Josh, the other guy who attended with us, and Ryan doing what he normally does and just standing there. So.
Just stand there.
But I mean, like I don't know. I guess we're moving into the LA slides themselves. That was me
Yeah.
tackling Kirsty and
Yeah,
trying
trying
to
to throw
give photographers
GameSpot.
up.
Oh, stop.
GameStop, yeah.
We kinda
Which
had
was
to.
exactly what you'd expect. It's EB but American. Donkey Kong. All these great. Look at that. Space Invaders use buttons to go left and right.
There was no stick.
Buttons to go left and right. It was broken, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was also tiny. Like,
Yeah,
it was
that's
like for
how,
little
that's how I had
people.
to crouch down to play it. So it was ridiculous. That's the gold,
Yes,
the
this is kind of
Chinese
the end, I
theatre. This is that stuff. Charlie Sheen's on crack. I mean,
Yeah,
crack's on
the
Charlie
cracks
Sheen.
in Charlie Sheen.
Which
found that
I'm glad you got
ironic.
it. Now, this was one of the most strange things. We're just walking along. I think it was Hollywood Boulevard.
yeah.
And so these random, like I guess you'd call them cosplayers or professional cosplayers, will take photos with you for tips. So you give them like $2, and they'll you can take photos with them.
Yeah.
Odd.
That's
Just strange.
Also,
and
crush
that's-
pennies.
Sorry.
Crush pennies.
Yes, crush pennies. So one of the things Americans do to symbolize, like, I guess, a tourist event is you get a penny and you put it in, and you put in like 25 cents, and you wind a handle, and it puts a picture onto the penny, like it stretches it out and puts a picture onto it. How many did you end up getting right?
It's not about like 15 or so. More, probably 10 or something. I don't know.
And they are the
Too many,
stupidest thing
too
ever.
many.
Yeah, they are the
I
stupidest
threw
thing
them all
ever.
out like when I got home.
Yeah, you just got home.
I
So
don't
what the
need
hell is this
these.
crap? Just put it in the bin.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the end of
That's a
E3 itself.
slideshow, yeah.
Does anyone want to ask about any of the games that were there? Like,
Because we got to play, like, we did get to go to some of the behind the closed doors tours. So we got to see some games like, you got to see Watch Dogs. I went to see, what was that one we saw? We had to sit on those really uncomfortable
Splinter
chairs.
Cell.
Splinter Cell. Yeah, that was really uncomfortable.
They
I
weren't
mean,
chairs,
okay,
they were
well, we'll
poles.
start off. What was your favorite game of the show?
Probably like. I'm gonna say Sony Smash Battle Royale.
No,
Whatever
it's
it
Sony
is.
Smash Brothers. It's all
Sony
right.
Smash Brothers, yeah.
Not being a PS3 fanboy, I thought it was actually pretty good. But I'm not gonna buy a PS3 for it though.
It's not worth that much, but it's on the Vita as well.
Yeah, which I don't have either. So.
Now, I don't know if you guys, who here has a Vita?
Correct
Nice,
answer.
and that's it. That's sad. Who has a PS3 as well? Okay. So if you have both those, you can actually play them against each other. Like they've got cross-play, so you can play Vita version of thing against PlayStation 3, and you can do it off the same. If you got it on the same wireless network, you can do it on the same screen. So effectively, you're playing it in your room. Your brother's next door, he's got a Vita, or someone's next door, they got a Vita, or in the same room, and they can literally play the same game against you on the main screen. That's what handhelds need to do now. I think that's the big thing that handhelds kind of have to push towards, because it's not just about sitting on the bus anymore. People play handhelds like they play consoles. They play them for 4 hours, 5 hours. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, but Super Smash Brothers is still better. So.
What was that? Hopefully. But it's made by Namco Bandai. Yeah, I know they've announced it, but it's made by Namco Bandai, so we'll have to see. Hopefully there's no Tekken crossover. Tekken crossover for the loss. Yeah. What was your favorite game?
I think that's a pretty obvious answer by all the photos I took of all the merchandise, but definitely Assassin's Creed 3. And also kind of associating with that Assassin's Creed Liberation as well, which is the PS Vita game. I managed to score the Assassin's Creed 3 limited edition E3 encyclopedia, and I've actually got it over there. No, you can't have it. And it's... Yeah, it's really, it's really good. Like I was literally pinching like every piece of merchandise that wasn't nailed down. So it just looks so good. Like the variety of gameplay, and I'm a big fan of it. So definitely Assassin's Creed 3.
Who are the fighting game fans in the audience? You are in for the best 2 years of your existence. You've got Persona 4 Arena, which was amazing. If you like Blaze Blue, you'll love that. You've got Sony Smash, Dead or Alive 5, Injustice, the one from like the DC one where it's like effectively Mortal Kombat engine with DC characters. If you're a fighting game fan, you are set for the rest of your days. Plus, I think there's Cross Tekken and Marvel vs. Capcom on the Vita as well, which is really cool. I mean, does anyone want to know anything else about any other games or? Darksiders 2, very different as opposed to the old one. You get upgradable armor and stuff now.
Yeah,
like?
and weapons, and they all act differently. I'm not sold.
Yeah, so it's like more of a traditional RPG. So they've mixed up the formula. Hand up. Splinter Cell?
That was us. Yeah, that looks amazing. I haven't played any of the old Splinter Cell games, but I was really impressed. And I think the other theme, other than the fighting game awesomeness, is just the sheer amount of gratuitous violence and gore.
Yeah.
And it was something I saw a lot of in the Xbox conference. And Splinter Cell has that as well. Like the kind of violence in which he kills people, or at least the graphic depiction of the violence. Sometimes it did get a bit much. It was like, really? Okay, I know he's going to explode into this shower of blood, but move forward. Maybe that's why I like Assassin's Creed.
It's pretty similar to Conviction, which was out like 2009 or something.
Who played Splinter Cell Conviction?
But I liked the Kinect integration with it because they have... that was another thing. They're trying to integrate Kinect into everything. You can actually give voice commands in Splinter Cell. So if you needed to call in an airstrike or if you needed to answer that silly girl that kept, saying something to him, you could actually answer
Mega Man. Anyway.
Yeah, you could actually answer in Kinect, which was quite cool.
Anyway. Say again? How's similar to Conviction?
Very, I would say. Like the only noticeable difference I could see was now you can do that, what's that move where you mark people? Mark and execute. You can do that while walking, and that's the only difference I saw.
Anyone else? Hagen?
It was big. And it was made of plastic.
And I wish we had the video of Ryan making a zombie face with Soul.
That was actually pretty cool. It was all right. I don't know about the Wii U. It just seems like an add-on to the Wii.
Yeah.
I wasn't really convinced, for making a better gameplay experience. So using a lot of party games. I mean, obviously there's most of the launch titles for the Wii U are party-ish games where you have to be multiplayer.
And Ninja Gaiden, that's
but
it.
But was that Rayman we were playing?
Yeah.
Rayman Origins 2 or something, wasn't it? I can't remember. Rayman for Wii U. That was actually quite cool. But again, I don't know, the use of the Wii U for most of those kind of, non-zombie U games were rather gimmicky. It was rather just an addition. But
we'll take one or two more and then we'll keep going.
Originally was
Goomba Hat. Very, completely different. Old Hitman planning stages, very like stilted, obvious walking, lots of that kind of stuff. This is like Assassin's Creed mixed with like Batman.
But everything is Assassin's Creed
Everything's
now.
Assassin's
like
Creed
even
now.
Splinter Cell was Assassin's Creed.
He has like assassin vision where he can like
eagle vision.
see through walls and stuff. It's like Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I'm very, very worried. Not to mention that trailer, which caused more trouble than it was worth. So anyway, over here. Need for Speed Most Wanted was really good.
And I wiped you out.
It was really good. If Criterion now own the Need for Speed brand as far as they make all the games exclusively, it's a good move. Most Wanted, if you love the old Most Wanted, the new Most Wanted's a little bit more cold, a little bit more clinical, less about the kind of the modding culture and more just about running away from the cops. So it's really cool like that.
I played half a lap and then it crashed on me, but like that half lap was good.
The little bit I played was good. Grey Hat. The Last of Us. Now, Last of Us, as you saw on the clip, that was the clips we saw effectively, and a little bit more gameplay on top of that. So we didn't get to see much more than you guys did. So it looks really good. I hope it's really good. Alan Page in it. It's going to be like pretty cool. I reckon we go last one. Sorry, over here. Which one? Arms 3.
Armor 3.
Oh, Armor 3. Didn't get to play it because the people take the keyboard off you. Unless you look, like literally, they took it off everyone who didn't have a beard and looked like they were like a gamer. It was creepy. They took it off girls. They took it off Dan Hines, one of our friends, who's like this bald, skinny dude. They said, no, we'll play it for you. Don't worry about it. But it's Armor. Hardcore, serious, over the top. You know what to expect from it. We'll take one more. This guy seemed really keen. Now, where was he? I'm not Andrew. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, you. PlanetSide 2 didn't get a chance, unfortunately. It was like one of the few games. That was the biggest issue, I think, with E3.
Yeah. We ran out of time. And because there was so much transporting between the halls, and obviously, our phones were kind of glitchy in America, it was just so hard to coordinate getting to every booth. I never saw the Sony booth.
Yeah.
I never really got to go around the Nintendo public area and you got to the VIP. It needs to run for like a whole week, basically, if you
does,
want to be
yeah.
able to play every game like that.
Well, look, we're going to wrap up very soon, but I thought I'd very quickly discuss Mr. Ryan here. Now, Ryan, we mentioned, so we had Chris up on Sunday with the 3D modelling for Wonderworld Studios. Ryan works for Wonderworld Games, and so do I. And the big thing with us is we have, like, you know, we have the school-based traineeship program where you learn the skills and things like that. Ryan once did that traineeship. Now he works for the company full-time and got sent to week 3 on the company dollar. Like, they literally paid for us to go overseas. I mean,
As well as a trainee who wasn't full-time.
Yes. So, look, as I say, if you're interested in the gaming reviewing, film, television, you know, we're looking at design in the future, but not right now. If there's anything you want to do, like, come up the back, see myself, I'll be there, Ryan, or even John McLeish. McLeish, you here? For once, McLeish is quiet. Once in his life, McLeish is quiet when I actually need him to talk. But look, make sure you come and see us. We're happy to discuss the program with you. We've got offices in Ballarat, Morwell, Sandringham, and Memmering. And it's a great opportunity and great experience. I mean, you did the course. What do you reckon?
It was good. Like, it's training. Like,
Good promotion you are.
yeah, I'm supposed to be the face of the company, apparently.
But yeah,
I
I
don't know,
recommend checking.
it's a traineeship, so you do some work. You do on the job and off the job. So you might train some, and then we'll get you working with Jason, and you also get paid for it.
Yeah, much better.
Well, I should anyway.
But yeah, so look, if you have any questions, come down and see us up the back. We'll be answering some questions in Rotunda later in the afternoon. But I'd like to thank Kirsty and Ryan for coming out and helping me talk to you guys about E3. If you have any questions, feel free to come and see us. Oh, you know what? Actually, before we do that, we got some swag to give away.
Yeah, so this is Assassin's Creed 3. It's a small though, so that's a girl's t-shirt, Halo 4.
Halo 4 girls shirt, so most of you guys could probably fit in it. I'd throw it. Bonk.
Shut up.
Yeah. Make it quick. We'll throw some stuff out and then we'll get off stage. No, hang on. One more and then we'll go. You got any more or? All right. No, down here. What? Sega magnets. Woo! All right. We've taken way too long. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Give my co-host a round of applause.